Hi, hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. This channel is a humble attempt to explore the various areas of science which always amaze me and inspire me to know more and more about this vast and confusing observable universe. The more you know about the science of something, the more you will be confused but still interesting. And here I'll deal with anatomy, physics, anything and everything related to science, which I think will certainly contribute something to your way of thinking. And today, I'll begin with neuroanatomy, and in this moment, I'm grateful to Dr. Geeta Devi and Dr. B. Lalitha, who gave me confidence to study anatomy in an effective way, which was impossible for me. And today, my topic is the cerebrum. And before we studying anything, it's better to know a little bit about the development of cerebrum. By the end of 4th week of embryonic life, a prosencephalon or fourth brain is formed, and by the end of 5th week, the prosencephalon differentiates into telencephalon and diencephalon, and our cerebral hemispheres are adult derivatives of this telencephalon. And in an adult brain, the brain has 4 major parts, that is brainstem, diencephalon, cerebrum and cerebellum. And our interest is the cerebrum. And for the sake of convenience, we are discussing cerebrum under 5 sections, that is superolateral surface, inferior surface, medial surface, white matter and cortical areas. And now let's see the superolateral surface of cerebrum. In this section of cerebrum, you can see an outer layer of grey matter and an inner layer of white matter, and this grey matter is formed due to the accumulation of cell bodies of neurons, whereas white matter is formed due to the accumulation of axons. And now you know why the superolateral surface of cerebrum appears all grey. And the white matter is also significant because it is where the basal ganglia is embedded deep inside, which we will see in other videos. Here you see how the superolateral surface of a cerebrum look like. Each cerebral hemisphere shows a complex pattern of convolution called gyrus, and the gyruses are separated by furrows of varying length called sulci. The convoluted structure increases the cortical volume to 3 times what it would be if the surface is smooth. There are 3 main sulci in a cerebrum, and these 3 sulci in turn create 4 lobes, and those 4 lobes are frontal, parietal, temporal and occipital, and the 3 sulci are central sulcus, lateral sulcus and parieto-occipital sulcus. Let's go through each of them. First we will see all the sulci, then the lobes. The central sulcus indents the superomedial border of the hemisphere 1 cm behind the midpoint. It runs downward, forward and toward the lateral sulcus across the lateral aspect of the hemisphere. The central sulcus is the only sulcus that indents the superomedial border. Lateral sulcus is a deep cleft on the inferior and lateral surfaces of the cerebral hemisphere. It consists of a short stem and 3 rami. These 3 rami are anterior ascending, anterior horizontal and posterior rami. The third main sulcus is the parieto-occipital sulcus. It begins on the superomedial border of the hemisphere about 5 cm anterior to occipital pole. It passes downward and anteriorly on the medial surface to meet the calcarine sulcus. Coming to the lobes, the frontal lobe is anterior to central sulcus and superior to lateral sulcus. It is divided by 3 sulci into 4 gyri. The 3 sulci are precentral, superior and inferior frontal sulci. The 4 gyri are precentral gyri, superior, middle and inferior frontal gyri. When we talk about the functions, Precentral gyre contains upper motor neurons, so involved in motor control, and the body regions with the greatest number of motor innervation are represented by the largest areas of motor cortex. The temporal lobe, which is inferior to lateral sulcus, contains 2 sulci and 3 gyri. The 2 sulci are superior and inferior temporal sulcus, and the 3 gyri are superior, middle and inferior temporal gyrus. Occipital lobe is a small area behind the parieto-occipital sulcus. 3 gyri are present in an occipital lobe. They are superior, middle and inferior occipital gyri. The main sulcus in the occipital lobe is lateral occipital sulcus. Other 2 sulci present in occipital lobe are transverse occipital sulcus and lunate sulcus. Temporal lobe contain auditory centers that receive sensory fibers from cochlea. Interpretation and association of auditory and visual information also take place here. Occipital lobe is the primary area responsible for vision and coordination of the eye movements. Now let's see another important lobe, that is parietal lobe. It is posterior to central sulcus and superior to lateral sulcus, extends up to the parieto-occipital sulcus. It has 2 sulci and 3 gyri. The 2 sulci are the post-central sulcus and intraparietal sulcus. And the 3 gyri include post-central gyrus, superior parietal lobule and inferior parietal lobule. Parietal lobe is the primary area responsible for the perception of somatoaesthetic sensation, and the body regions with high density of receptors are represented by the largest area of sensory cortex. Thanks for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe.